Baby, I'm packing my bag, but I can't stop loving you. The suitcase waits beside my door, half full of clothes, half full of memories. Tonight the moon looks different, as if it knows I am leaving you behind. I folded my shirts carefully, but I could not fold the love inside my heart. I tried to place our photographs between the pages of my notebook, yet every picture came alive. I saw your smile again. I heard your laughter again. I felt your hand in mine again. The room became a battlefield between my mind and my heart. My mind whispered, "Leave," but my heart cried, "Stay." I stood by the window, watching the rain fall slowly. Every drop reminded me of you. I remembered the first day we met. The sky was bright. The world seemed gentle. Your eyes carried a thousand stars. You looked at me, and suddenly every lonely road I had ever walked disappeared. You became my favorite chapter. You became my safest place. You became the reason I believed in forever. I never planned to love you. Love simply arrived. It entered my heart quietly, sat beside my soul, and wrote your name everywhere. Now I am packing my bag, but how can I pack memories? How can I fold your smile? How can I zip my suitcase while my heart is still living with you? I placed my jacket inside. It still carried your perfume. I closed my eyes. For a moment I felt you standing beside me. I imagined you saying, "Don't go." I imagined your tears. I imagined your trembling voice. And suddenly my hand stopped moving. I sat on the floor. The suitcase remained open. So did my heart. People say leaving is easy. They have never loved like this. Because when love becomes your home, every goodbye feels like an earthquake. I remember our late night conversations. I remember your sleepy voice. I remember how you called my name, as if it were the most beautiful word. I remember every promise, every dream, every little plan. We wanted a small house, a garden full of roses, a window facing the sunrise, 2 cups of coffee every morning, and endless love. But life writes stories differently. Sometimes two hearts love deeply and still lose each other. Sometimes destiny is cruel. Sometimes love survives. While people walk away, I picked up another shirt. A letter fell from the pocket. It was your handwriting. I opened it carefully. The paper had become old, but your words were still alive. No matter where life takes us, you will always have a home in my heart. I smiled. Then I cried, because I realized something. I am leaving this place, but I can never leave your heart, and you can never leave mine. I looked at the clock. Midnight, the hour when memories grow louder, the hour when lonely people speak to the stars. I walked outside. The sky was dark blue. A few stars remained awake. I whispered your name. The wind carried it away. Perhaps it reached you. Perhaps somewhere tonight you are thinking about me too. Maybe you are standing by your window. Maybe you are crying. Maybe you are remembering all the beautiful things we shared. I wish I could tell you something. I am not leaving because I stopped loving you. I am leaving because sometimes love alone cannot fix everything. I wish I could stay. I wish time would stop. I wish the world would give us one more chance. But wishes are fragile things. They break easily, just like hearts. I returned to my room. The suitcase waited patiently. I looked around. Every corner carried your memory. The chair where you sat, the cup you used, the scarf you forgot. Even silence reminded me of you. I packed another shirt, then another, but every piece of clothing felt heavier than before. Because each one carried a memory. Love is strange. It hides itself everywhere. In songs, in places, in little objects, in ordinary moments. I picked up my phone. I almost called you. My fingers stopped. What would I say? I'm leaving. I miss you. I still love you. No sentence seemed enough. Some feelings are too deep for words. I placed the phone down. A tear rolled down my cheek. Then another. Soon I was crying. Not because I was weak, but because loving someone this much is a beautiful pain. I remembered your laughter. I remembered your eyes. I remembered the way you looked at me, as if I mattered. No one has ever looked at me like that. No one has ever loved me like that. And perhaps no one ever will. I stood before the mirror. I looked tired, older, sad, heartbroken. I barely recognized myself. Love changes people, and losing love changes them even more. I touched my chest. My heart was still beating, still loving, still hoping. I smiled sadly. How strange. I am packing my bag, yet my heart refuses to leave. Maybe hearts have their own language. Maybe they know things that minds never understand. I opened the window again. The cold wind entered. Some rose petals from the garden flew inside. They landed near my suitcase. I picked one up. It reminded me of you. Beautiful, fragile, unforgettable. I placed the petal in my pocket. A little memory to carry with me. A little piece of you, because even if I travel far away, I want something that still feels like home. The night became quieter. I could hear my heartbeat. I could hear my breathing. I could hear my soul asking one question: will I ever stop loving you? I searched for the answer, but none came. Perhaps love like this never ends. Perhaps it simply changes form. Perhaps one day it becomes a memory, or a poem, or a prayer. I closed the suitcase. Then I opened it again. I took everything out. I laughed softly because I realized something. I can pack my clothes. I can pack my books. I can pack my shoes. But I cannot pack my heart. My heart still belongs to you. Maybe tomorrow I will leave. Maybe I will board a train. Maybe I will travel far away. But distance means nothing to true love. Miles cannot erase memories. Time cannot destroy real feelings. And goodbye cannot silence a heart that still whispers your name. If someday you read these words, know this: I never stopped loving you. Not for a second. Not for a moment. Even while packing my bag, I was still carrying you with me. Because love is not a place. Love is not a city. Love is not an address. Love is a person. And for me, that person will always be you. So tonight, I leave my door open. I leave my heart open too. Because a small part of me still believes in miracles. Maybe our paths will meet again. Maybe destiny will be kind. Maybe one day I will unpack my suitcase and find myself standing beside you again. Until then, I will carry your memories like precious treasures. I will keep your smile inside my soul. I will keep your name inside my prayers. And every night, before I close my eyes, I will whisper, "Baby, I'm packing my bag, but I can't stop loving you. The journey without you." Morning finally arrived. The sun rose slowly, but my heart remained in darkness. I picked up my suitcase and stood at the door. For a moment, I looked back at my room, the empty chair, the silent window, the photographs on the wall. Everything reminded me of you. I whispered softly, "Goodbye," but the word felt strange, because how can someone say goodbye to the person they still love? I stepped outside. The wind was cold. The streets were quiet. Even the birds seemed sad. I started walking toward the station, carrying my bag in one hand and my broken heart in the other. People passed by me. Some were smiling, some were laughing, some were holding hands. I wondered if they knew how lucky they were, because love is a beautiful gift, and losing it is one of life's greatest pains. I reached the station. The train had not arrived yet. I sat on a wooden bench. Suddenly, I remembered the first time we traveled together. You sat beside me, your head resting on my shoulder. You smiled and said, "No matter where we go, as long as we're together, every place feels like home." I closed my eyes. Those words still lived inside me. A tear rolled down my cheek. I quickly wiped it away, but another tear followed. Then another. I realized something. I wasn't crying because I was leaving. I was crying because I was leaving without you. The train arrived. Its loud sound broke the silence. People began to move. Bags were lifted. Tickets were checked. Goodbyes were exchanged. I stood there, unable to move. Part of me wanted to turn back. Part of me wanted to run to you. Part of me wanted to call your name and tell you everything. Tell you that I still miss you. Tell you that I still need you. Tell you that my heart has never stopped loving you. But I remained silent. Sometimes silence contains more pain than words. I stepped onto the train. I found my seat beside the window. The journey began. The city slowly disappeared. Buildings became smaller. Roads faded away. But your memories remained clear. I looked at the sky. The clouds were moving gently. I wondered if you were looking at the same sky. Perhaps you were. Perhaps somewhere our thoughts were meeting, even if our hands could not. The train moved faster. Fields passed by. Trees disappeared. Rivers shined under the morning light. Everything was moving forward, except my heart. My heart was still standing at your doorstep, still waiting, still hoping. I took out my notebook. I opened a blank page. Then I began to write, "Dear love, today I am leaving, but I am not taking my heart with me. I left it with you the day you smiled at me. I left it with you the day you held my hand. I left it with you the day you became my world." I stopped writing. The words became blurry. My tears had fallen on the page. I smiled sadly. Even my tears still belong to you. Hours passed. The train continued its journey. The sun climbed higher. People around me slept. Some listened to music. Some read books. I simply stared outside, because every road reminded me of our dreams. We once dreamed of traveling together. We once dreamed of seeing the world. But life changed our plans.